What's up, beautiful people? My name is Derek Standifer, aka Ayana's daddy, aka Derek Jr.'s papa, aka my mama's son. And today I have the honor, privilege, and pleasure of interviewing Miss Chelsea Matthews, principal at Fletcher Middle School in Jacksonville, Florida. Y'all welcome Miss Matthews as we get started today. How you doing, Miss Matthews?
I am doing great, Dr. Standifer.
Amazing, amazing. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's an honor, privilege, and pleasure to have you on the show. I remember meeting you when you walked into the office and you had 10 of your portfolios, and she's like, "I'm ready for business. I'm ready to get it going." So I already knew you about your
Yes,
business.
sir.
Yeah. All right. So before we get started, can you give us a small, brief bio about who you are, what you do, why you do it?
Absolutely. So, hello, everyone. I'm Chelsea Matthews. I am a native of Jacksonville, Florida. I had the honor and privilege of being a product of Duval County Public Schools, where I attended JWJ, Stanton College Preparatory School, later transitioned on the Hill as a Rattler, Go Rattlers, class of 2010. I actually went to FAMU with the intention of graduating with a degree in journalism. So my bachelor's is in public relations, J School. But God saw fit for other things. So I joined Teach for America in 2010, came back to Jacksonville, taught for four years, did one summer at Houston, total of 5 years, became an assistant principal through Columbia's master's program. So I went to Columbia University in New York for the Teachers College, became an assistant principal at Andrew Jackson, later at Matthew Gilbert. Then I transitioned to the Leadership Academies, and this is going into my second year as principal at Duncan U. Fletcher Middle School. So I'm thankful for the journey, and I'm looking forward to the unknown and what's ahead.
That is
Oh,
amazing. What was that?
you know what I forgot? The most recent endeavor, how we connected.
Oh yeah. Tell us about this new blessing, this new journey you're embarking upon.
So I thought about how I could go back to school, get my PhD, but I did not want to pay. And I prayed about it and I did some research. So I will be returning to my alma mater on the Hill to get that PhD like Dr. Standifer from the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University with that doctorate of education. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am. Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the stretch ahead. That's the stretch ahead. And I couldn't have done it without you.
Welcome back home. Welcome back home. Okay. So I did not know you did Teach for America. I was a Teach for America core member 2016. I taught at Morrow High School. Y'all taught 1970 history at Morrow High School in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. You were in Atlanta Corps. Yes, I was ELA at Northwestern Middle School, the lowest performing middle school in Jacksonville. They actually just closed it down this year. That was bittersweet.
Yeah, I missed the classroom. Okay, so there are 5 steps to solving the Rubik's Cube. The first step of solving the Rubik's Cube is to believe. So, Ms. Matthews, what is the end goal? What is your goal, your dream, your aspiration that you believe that you see yourself doing when it's all said and done?
Absolutely. So to believe, that is a very powerful statement. And I think it starts with purpose. So I do believe that my purpose for my time being on this earth is to educate youth, to educate adults, and to make a valuable contribution to society and to empower others to make a valuable contribution to society. So I don't know where that will ultimately lead me. It could be working in education policy. It could be going back to the classroom and teaching. It could be becoming a principal and sustaining that role as a principal, being a superintendent, working for state of Florida, wherever I can contribute my knowledge, my passion, and I can promote education on any platform, that is where I'll be. But I've never been a person to say I have to be right here, I have to be in this role, I have to be in this position. But it's almost as if you just relinquish that control and you allow doors to open based on pursuing your passion. Thankful that this right now, being a principal, is the best job year to date I've ever had. And I found much joy in encouraging others, leading others, working alongside others. And it's fulfilling. No 2 days look the same in this seat. So I'm thankful for it.
It's good to keep it fluid. There was a picture that I saw. It said, your plan, and it's a straight line to your destination. And then on the other side of the picture, it said God's plan, and you had to
Exactly.
go through the valleys and over the mountaintops, and there was just a lot of obstacles. So I believe in fluidity and keeping it kind of open a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the second part of the belief is how do you strengthen your belief? So through life, you gotta maintain that belief. You sometimes we kind of get low on ourselves. So how do you strengthen your belief? What are some techniques that you use to stay motivated, to stay driven?
So I've been conditioned to be reflective. And when you talk about strengthening your belief, you have to be reflective on your journey. Where were you? What's your story? What are your roots? What are your beliefs? What are your values? And I'm often reminded of the sacrifices that my mother and my grandmother made for me. My grandmother was a custodian at a local elementary school in Jacksonville. My mother was a single mom, and she went to school ever since I was in school. She was getting her RN in nursing. She had me and my brother, and then when we were in high school, she was getting her master's from JU. When I was in middle school, her bachelor's. And then when I went to college, she went back to get her PhD from Nova Southeastern University. So as far as I can remember, my grandmother just always pushed her to be her best self. And I remember my mom modeling what chasing after becoming your best self is. And she would work a night shift at Shands. It used to be known as Shands Jacksonville. She would work a 12-hour shift, come pick up me and my brother, drop us off at Sunday school, go back home, take a nap, and then come join us for morning worship. And then go back home and study and get us ready for school and pursue her goals and her aspirations. So it was like watching her move like a machine to chase the impossible and chase her goals. So when I'm thinking about a day when I don't feel like it, or a day when I'm discouraged, or a day when I'm like, what am I doing? Where am I going? I constantly remember my grandmother and the sacrifices she made. And I think and visualize my mother being tired and pushing through the fatigue to meet the goals that you've set for yourself. So I've learned on this journey that not only do I have to reflect on where I come from, but then I also have to make out those goals that I wish to pursue, what I wish to achieve, and then make my own plan and stay organized and stay healthy. It's all about becoming the best version of yourself. So I might be too tired to chase my goals if I'm eating the wrong things. I might be too tired to chase my goals if I'm not taking that 30 minutes a day to get some energy and to refresh and to work out. I'm not my best self if I don't start my day off with prayer. I could tell the days when I'm so behind that I don't pray before I open the doors to my school, and the days when I take a minute and have my meditation and have my prayer and have my coffee. It makes a difference. So I do believe that when you're becoming your best self, that will strengthen your belief and the power to pursue the goals that you have set for yourself. And you are not going to make it without that plan and without that strategy. And you never become perfect or ever feel that you've made it, because you're always going to be trying to, again, evolve to be the best version of yourself. There is no destination to that. So there's never going to be a moment when I feel like, oh, I've arrived or I've gotten there. It's always like, well, I might can still do some things to get better and to sharpen myself or to sharpen others or to give more. So it's never ending. It has to be a perpetual act and a perpetual action to make it happen.
Okay, okay. I want to shout out Miss Veronica McCarger. She said, "Keeping the word and have constant crazy faith." So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Miss Veronica.
Absolutely.
Right. So you kind of addressed it. So step two of solving the Rubik's cube and step two of solving life is to solve your cross. Now, solving your cross is to identify your why, some of the reasons that keep you pushing and fighting. Who are the people that you want to make proud? Sometimes we need a drag in the slate. Who are the people that you want to prove wrong? You know,
Yeah.
sometimes. So, what are your whys? What are your reasons for chasing success and being this person who you are?
Absolutely. So I always like to think of it as you're in this race against yourself. So when I think of where I was 10 years ago or maybe 12 years ago now, I don't remember. I'm not going to say graduation seems like yesterday, but I know it wasn't. But when I think about where I started and where I am now, I'm not looking to make my mom proud anymore or to make my grandmother proud anymore. Now it's competing against me. Am I better than what I was yesterday? And I tell my staff all the time, I don't expect you to be perfect, but I do expect us all to be better than we were yesterday. And if every day we're trying to do better, respond better, act better, be better, then we can say we are in the right direction of solving our why. I do think that there is an innate desire in a human being to prove people wrong. And in my community, I did not particularly look like everyone in my family or have the same family makeup as most people in my family. My mom was a single parent. And I did have people tell me, "Oh, you're never going to do anything. Oh, you're going to go to the community college, and oh, you might get pregnant in high school, and oh, you think you're all that, and oh, you so whatever." And it you kind of, because you're confident and your parents build that confidence in you, you kind of become numb to it, but it stays right there in the back of your mind. You can remember that voice of, oh, you're not going to go off to college, or oh, you're not going to do this, or oh, you're not going to make that, or oh, you're too young, or you're too this. I tell my students all the time, that is the fuel that you not prove them wrong, but you allow that to fuel your desire to do something great. You don't let that be a stumbling block. So my why right now is to be better than I was yesterday or 10 years ago. I believe I have made my mom very proud, and I know my grandmother would be very proud, but now it's about making me proud, making me feel like I have done everything with the talents that God has blessed me with, and everything, all the gifts that He's given me, that I've exhausted and maximized those gifts with the time that I was given to do that with. So
that is a beautiful response. A counselor once told me, God gave you life, and your rank to God is to use your gifts and your skills and your talents to serve human and man and womankind. So greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. And it's so crazy that it's a lot of times it's the people in our community who doubt us and push us, who put us down. And one, you just got to pray for them, and two, still serve as a mentor and as a beacon of light to the people who's following in your footsteps. Let them know, just because people put you down, just because people talk bad about you, it's still your duty and your responsibility to live out your best self. We gotta die on E.
yes,
Do not take anything. Let me shout out some Lisa Starr. She says, yes, becoming your best self. My doctorate journey has been long, but so rewarding to be better. She also co-signed with Veronica, and then she also says, when you know better, you do better. So thank you, Miss Lisa, for sharing with us, for sharing your comments. All right. So after you solve your cross, the third step of solving the Rubik's Cube, the third step of solving life is to fill in your corners. Now, filling in your corners is surrounding yourself in a positive environment, having only quality people in your circle. So what kind of friends do you have around to fuel you? What kind of environment do you immerse yourself in? We'll start off now.
So environment is everything. God, family, career is my whole life, my environment. I do believe that when you surround yourself with people that stretch your thinking, then you are on the right track to having the right environment to pursue your dreams and to pursue your goals. As we talked about earlier, you're supposed to be evolving into the best version of yourself. So you might not still be seeing every day the same friends that you saw that may have been in a different place or season that you once were and left. So again, if you're the smartest person in the room, you have to grow yourself to being not the smartest person in the room, so you can still encourage those who are behind you, but also stretch your thinking to those in front of you. So my friends now are region superintendents and people who are writing books and telling their story and more on a national scale and not local, but I still have my local circle of influence that I can still call and bounce ideas off with. And I still have my colleagues in New York that if I reach a stumbling block, I can call them and say, hey, I'm facing a big challenge and I don't really have the answer. And sometimes just venting and talking to them, I then have the answer. So again, when you are really, really, really trying to become the best version of yourself, I get offended if I'm the smartest person in the room because that means I did something wrong.
Mm, Dr. Dennis
I
Kimbrough
no
out of
longer,
Atlanta.
I no longer want to be the smartest person in the room. I want
Exactly.
to be someone where, oh, I'm writing down everything that they're saying because I'm just soaking up that knowledge. So God, family, career is the environment that I like to surround myself. We talked about prayer and meditation and starting your day off with that, but it has to be personal. It's not a check in the box. No 2 days look the same when I say my prayer or when I meditate. Sometimes I'm on the floor, sometimes I'm in the bed, sometimes I'm on my knees, sometimes I'm in the car. But it's just making sure it's personal and it's sincere. You can never go wrong when you're just having a conversation. It's not polished, it's not pretty. Sometimes I'm laughing through it, sometimes I'm crying through it, but it's real. Then I talk about family. So I love the fact that my fiance helps me to remember to laugh, to have that comic relief, to just relax, to sleep in, to know that life is a healthy balance. It's not a race. I remember when we first started dating, I would wake up at 8 o'clock. Okay, what we doing? Where we going? What's going on? And now it's like, slow it down. Let's rest. And let's remember what's important. And you can be your best self when you're rested. You can't be yourself when, like I used to do, drink 5 cups of coffee a day and have that artificial energy. I'm better, Mr. Stanford. I'm better, Doc. I'm better. But family, I'm a big movie watcher. Me and my mom binge movie watch all the time, and that helps my environment when I am needing to walk away. Take a moment, take an hour, watch a movie, spend that quality time, and then I can go roll back into my work. And then career, I'm never satisfied. There's always something more I can do to reach more kids. There's always something more I can do to reach another teacher or to help another teacher or read another book, find a different strategy to get through to this person. Out of the 80 plus staff members I have, I can never say that I've gotten through to all 85 plus staff members. So it's always something I can do to pour into me, to reach another staff member or another child. So there's always so much to do, but when I stay grounded in God and with my family, and looking for more ways to be my best self at work and in my career, then I always think at the end of the day, I feel that my work that has been done is meaningful, valuable, and I am content.
Mm, 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 Dennis Kimbrough, he's a professor and a motivational speaker in Atlanta, Georgia. He says that if you're the smartest person in your group, then you need to find you a new group. And
That's the
I
truth.
have true words have never been said. And I'm a big believer in not being the smartest person in my group. In fact, I tell my students all the time, when you're the smartest person in your group, it feeds your ego, but it steals away from your future. You can't grow, you can't expand. I'm a part of a mastermind group, and I have no quarrels with being the, lack of a better term, the dumbest person in my group. I learn every time we're on the mastermind call. I'm learning from my mastermind brothers, and I'm, like you say, taking notes. And I'm okay. You leaving breadcrumbs for me to pick up and for me to follow. And we need to, it's not about feeding our ego. It's about stretching and growing and building and becoming a better version. I like to use the analogy of Rocky. Do you remember when Rocky, when he joined, he started battling with Apollo Creed?
Yes.
And Rocky wasn't the fighter that we know and love until he met Apollo Creed. But Apollo Creed showed him some things that
Level up.
he took him to another level. And that's what being around people who are smarter than you, it stretches you, it fuels you, motivates you. So I have Lisa. Thank you again. She says love the Rubik's Cube analogy. We have Miss Kayla Young. She says
Hey,
successfully
Kayla.
successfully managing balance and drive to learn from others and enjoy them. All right. So okay, cool. So also filling in your corners. How do you feed your spirit? How do you feed your physical? What kind of music do you listen to? What kind of motivational speeches, if you do listen to motivational speeches? Zig Ziglar, he says that you are what you are or where you are because of what you allow to go into your mind. And if you want to change what you are, and if you want to change where you are, you change what you allow to go into your mind. So what are you feeding your mind?
So I think first thing is you have to identify that you are in this world to be a lifelong learner.
Mm,
And then you can identify what you're going to feed your mind, where you're going to turn to, how you're going to do it. But if you think that it stops after you get your degree, or it stops after you get a promotion, or it stops after you meet someone that you think is always going to stretch your thinking. Then you find yourself at roadblocks. So I identified a long time ago that I wanted to become a lifelong learner. And as you're on this road to learning, you are feeding yourself through your environment. We talked about environments. You're feeding yourself through music. You're feeding yourself through people. You're feeding yourself through social media. So I think of various avenues where I could feed my spirit and feed my day through music and all of the other things you talked about. And I want to get to it, but I don't want to get off topic. But I also want to talk about how social media can be a positive way to feed yourself, depending on what channels you're following. Looking at the motivational quote channel and following them. So when you're just thinking you're unwinding and turning off, that you're actually still reading things that in your psyche, in your subconscious, you still have those motivational quotes going through your mind that you may have seen. I have a few podcasts that I've been listening to, and I've joined Audible. So now when I'm traveling or in the car, I have an Audible book that I'm listening to. And I'm caught up on my reading through Audible. I'm so thankful because I was kind of beating myself up that I wasn't reading as often as I used to as life started getting faster and demands start coming. So one of the podcasts that I like to listen to is the Principal Center, and they talk obstacles that's going on right now in 21st century schools, and how we can overcome those obstacles, and to see them as challenges that we have to love to embrace. So right now we're about to go into schools not knowing what schools are going to look like, and I am 100% fearless, and I don't have a doubt that we're going to make it through victoriously, because we are the innovators, we are the creators of our new norm. So when I listen to podcasts on the Principal Center and Principal Center Radio, and when I'm listening to my Audible books like Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting at the Cafeteria Together, an oldie but goodie, and I'm listening to how we go from good to great, I'm just filling my toolkit and feeding my spirit with things that are going in my subconscious, that when the fire is on, I know how to respond. I listen to a lot of rap when I'm working out, but I can't listen to rap before I go to work. I have to listen to my soft 88.1 Christian radio, because it's just that soothing, encouraging word that's going in your subconscious. So if I get upset, that calmness is already over me and upon me, and I'm not just got off the elliptical and gonna go slap off if somebody make Miss Matthews mad, because I don't have that on my spirit at the moment. So however you feed your spirit is what eventually comes out. So I like to say I have a very calm demeanor and spirit. I remember just last week we did a virtual orientation for the very first time. And we prepped for this virtual orientation for over 3 weeks. We played the sound and test ran it 5 different times on 5 different devices. And the morning of, the sound and audio on the videos that we took hours to make did not work. So you know what I said? I said, you know what, guys, this is going to set the tone how this year, 2020, is going to be in day one when you enter our building. I'm going to be innovative. I'm going to be timely, and we're going to work together to remain calm and take any obstacle as it comes. This is a prime example of how we have to roll with the punches and make it work, because failing is not an option. It's not. So whatever we got to do, whatever gaps we have to fill in, we're going to make it, and we're going to make it, and it's going to look so great at the end. But anyway, long story short, as I start improvising and going through the script, through the video that I had recorded and I remembered in my mind, it started to play. And all 200 participants on that call started commenting, your audio just showed up. Your video is now playing. And I said, well, I didn't do anything different, but roll with it. And then it just decided, technology, that it was going to play. I was happy that it played, but I was also thankful that I had enough in me, that my spirit had been fed, to not shut down and give up and be upset and be nervous or jittery or thrown off because the plan didn't go as planned. There are a lot of times when life just don't go as planned. It just doesn't. And I'll switch gears from career to life. Like I had a whole beautiful wedding plan for May 16, 2020. COVID happened, and guess what? We're rolling with it. We're gonna try again next year. That's life. Can't be upset about life, but you have to roll with the punches and do it graciously. Because at the end of the day, when I take a deep breath and I exhale, that's all that really matters. Everything else will fall into play. So I'm thankful for that. So again, as you said, your environment and what you're pouring in, your music, your podcast, those quotes. If you're on social media, just don't follow clothing and celebrity pages. Follow some items and things, godly relationships, quotes. Follow those things too that you can pour back into your subconscious.
Come on now. Let me shout out Lisa Reed. She's Monte Martin said loving the conversation. Lisa Reed co-signed. She said absolutely motivating. And Lisa Reed also said level up. I love it. Okay, thank you for the interactions. Thank you for the interactions. If you want to comment, we would be more than happy to address your comments. Thank you for that. You got to take advantage when you got somebody of Miss Matthews' stature. So you got to take advantage of the blessings. All right. Step 4 of solving the Rubik's Cube, step 4 of solving life is to take it to the next level. Now, if you notice this, I'm taking it to the next level is solving the second row of the Rubik's Cube. So it's a metaphor for growing, getting better. You kind of addressed this already, but specifically, how do you grow? How do you get better? How do you become a better version of yourself? I know I listen to YouTube, university, books, motivational speeches, all these avenues make me grow. So how do you grow?
You have to be receptive to feedback. And you have to seek feedback. If you are not receptive to feedback, if you take feedback personally, then you will find yourself stuck in the same spot every time you come around 5 years, 10 years from that moment, and you will be in the same spot. Feedback, I think, in some worlds or some jobs or some careers is seen as a negative thing, but it's actually the place where I crave to be better. I crave that feedback to be my best self, because anybody can come in and say, oh, you're great. Oh, you did wonderful. Oh, you got it going on. Oh, I'm just going to give you all highly effectives and all great, and all 5 stars, and you go continue to be great. I didn't do you any favors. I might have made you feel good. I didn't do you any favors. Even when I was a highly effective, getting all highly effectives, I would still say, well, what could I have done differently? Because I was curious to hear someone with a different perspective. It doesn't mean that my way was wrong, but you might have an alternative way that I haven't even thought about. Or outside of work, okay, I did great on that run, but what am I going to tweak about my running so that the next time my time can be better than my last time? But a lot of times we don't include feedback and as a part of the process in becoming better, or to go to that next level, or to feed our minds and to feed our hearts on, okay, I did that great, now what? So feedback to me has been probably the most important part of that growth and the most important part of how you get better.
I'm a big believer in feedback and being critical of the work. I'm a poet. I'm a motivational speaker, and I love when I get off stage and people say, "Great job, great job, great job." But I absolutely adore when people say, "Hey, you did a great job, but can you slow down? Hey, you did a great job, but can you enunciate on your words?" That's the growth part right there, and you have to be receptive to that growth. Like a lot of times people say, we call them haters or whatnot, but sometimes people genuinely want to help you, and you can't be a know-it-all. You have to humble yourself and say, "Thank you for that lesson. I will incorporate it into the next avenue or whatnot." But can't be know-it-alls, and that feedback is so critical. I like to call it feed front. I just like to play on words, feed front.
Yeah.
But be receptive to it and use it to grow and to elevate you. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Devontae Jumper said, "Great knowledge." Devontae Jumper, great knowledge. Nina Moon said, "Growth mindset." Devontae said, I needed that knowledge for real, for real. Miss Kayla Young, she says, no one is the best at anything. Being receptive to feedback pushes you to grow, thus making you a life learner. Miss Kayla Young, you got an old spirit. That's what's up. That's what's up.
She
So
does.
the fifth and the final step of solving the Rubik's Cube is to see the bigger picture. Is to seeing the bigger picture is a metaphor for keeping your commitment to your commitments. So, Miss Matthews, how do you keep your commitment to your commitments? You know, a lot of times trials and tribulations they come. You know, life throws the storms of life our way, and you know the darkest hour is right before the sunrise. So, how do you keep your commitment to your commitments?
So I think tunnel vision coupled with faith and this inherited grit that I've gotten from my mom and grandmother, I think that's the formula to keeping your commitment after you've been beat up or after you are tired or after you get sidetracked or after you procrastinate or after life happens. You have to revisit and have that tunnel vision to do what you said you were going to do. And if all else fails, be a woman or man of your word. If you tell someone that you're going to do something, if you sign up for something, then it is your utmost responsibility to fight, crawl, claw, to do whatever it takes to complete that task and to fulfill that commitment. I remember when my mom dropped me off at FAMU, she gave me $40 in quarters to do my laundry. And she said, your goal is to come here and to graduate in 4 years with a degree. And you told me that you are committed to doing that. So, not a day late, when those 4 years were up, I had a diploma to show that I fulfilled my commitment. I did what I said I was going to do. I did what you told me I was supposed to do, but I made good on my word. I told you I was going to do it. I told you you could trust me with this promise, and we made it. We made it happen. Not every day was easy. Not every day I thought I was going to make it on time, but at the end of the day, I shuffled. I figured it out. I begged and pleaded with the dean a few times to add on a few classes extra. But I did not take no for an answer. And when you have tunnel vision and when you put the work behind the prayer, it's not enough just to say, oh, I want this really, really, really bad. Help me get it. No, you have to put in that work daily behind that prayer, behind your faith, and to have that tunnel vision to make it through.
Faith without work is dead. You know, you manifest it, but you also got to put that work in the daily actions. I'm a big believer in, you know, it's not the graduation that matters. It's the doing your homework every day. That's what gets you to the graduation. You know, it's not
Yes.
the big wins, the daily disciplines. And we need people to grow up and to say that I want to be like Chelsea Matthews. My journey was completely, I came to FAMU. It took me a little longer. I actually flunked out at FAMU, flunked out at another university. And I had to come back together. You know, with that commitment, with that keeping that commitment to my commitments. I just turned in my last assignment, part one of that PhD program.
Woo!
It's so fulfilling. You know, you hear
Oh, my
so
goal is to be there where you are, getting ready to write that dissertation, sir.
you're gonna blink your eyes and you'll be here. Okay. Miss Lisa, she says, so proud of you, Chelsea. Your insights and guidance had been helpful. Mindset is key. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
Uh,
you, Lisa.
Jared Blake says, she teaching with a strong arm. That's what's up. That's what's up. Daily discipline. That's a word. Okay. Okay. So, now, if as you can see, after you keep your commitment to your commitments, we have solved our Rubik's cube. But there's a bonus step. Now, the bonus solving the Rubik's cube. Have you ever seen somebody take the stickers off when they try to solve the Rubik's cube? So the metaphor for not taking the stickers off is not taking the shortcuts in life. So can we get a word on the detriments of taking the shortcuts? You know, we've identified our steps. 1, believe in yourself. 2, identify your why. 3, immerse yourself in a positive environment. 4, take it to the next level. 5, see the bigger picture. But what happens when you take shortcuts in life, Ms. Matthews?
So I've learned that shortcuts always come back to bite you some type of way. You probably will gain something that's temporary when you're chasing after something that you want to be permanent. So I like to think of it as I'd rather take the long way for it to be mine than to take a shortcut and I have to give it back or to not fully grow and evolve to keep it. I remember there was a saying when you're online, don't walk across the grass, take the long way, take the sidewalk, because there are no shortcuts to becoming a Delta. So it's just like in life, you really want to make sure that everything that you do is intentional for it to permanently build who you want to be and to build who you are. So I'm not going to take the shortcut and cheat on a test, because eventually 3 years later, I'm going to need that knowledge to actually bring it forth to fruition and to solve life or to solve the problem or to solve the situation. If I would have cheated on that, if I would have studied for the test and didn't cheat, then I can remember naturally what it is I'm supposed to know, what it is that I'm supposed to do. So the shortcuts kind of always catch up with us one way or another. So I'd rather take the time and the discipline to go the long way so that that knowledge and what it is that I'm going after can permanently be mine, because a shortcut will always lead to temporary and probably a disaster. So as long as we are totally committed to giving it our best and totally committed to taking a long way if necessary, it's just time. And as much time as we're given, we can use to chase after the permanent solution that we're looking for.
The great J. Cole, he says that there is beauty to the struggle. So
Yes.
you have to appreciate that those trials and those tribulations. You know, when we take shortcuts, we can't really appreciate the success because we know we truly didn't earn it. But when it's a dog fight and you follow the steps, you can enjoy it. You can look back and say, look, this is what I've accomplished, and that's the beauty and accomplishing your goals and your dreams and your aspiration, the journey to get there. So we have Lisa. She says that believe in yourself, identify your why, taking shortcuts. What are the other two principles? So one is believe in yourself. Two is identify your why. Three is filling in your corners, immersing yourself in a positive environment. Four is taking it to the next level, continuing to grow. Five is see the bigger picture, keep your commitment to your commitments. And six is don't take the stickers off. There are no shortcuts. And Royce Levitt, if you are a fan of music, you should know who this man is. Royce Levitt said, "This is an amazing show. It's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to have y'all in." Miss Lisa, thank you for your insight. Thank you for being a participant in the show. You've been amazing. Thank you for rocking with us. So we have officially solved our Rubik's Cube. Ms. Matthews, it has been an honor interviewing you and getting your insight. Thank you for dropping those jewels of wisdom. Do you have any last words that you want to embark onto the people while we as we get ready to close out?
Sure. I don't have all the answers, and it's okay for you not to have all the answers too. Just remember to always evolve into the best version of yourself, whatever that looks like. The way it looks for me may not look the same for you, but if you are committed to yourself, your goals, and constantly every day doing something to perfect whatever your craft is, you have no doubt you are in no way on the wrong track. So stay encouraged. I'm so thankful for this opportunity with Mr. Standifer. Dr. Standifer on the run is coming. I'm coming soon right behind you. I'm excited about what's ahead, and thank you so much.
All right, Ms. Matthews, stay on. But good people, y'all be great like the lakes. Be blessed like a sneeze. Peace.